A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Krishan Devsagayam and let's start off with a look at this afternoon's headlines. The Tirasara Lanka Jatika Mangalya exhibition is declared open under the auspices of the President. 2 more suspects allegedly involved in the recent Kaluthara prison bus shooting arrested. Stock of rice unsuitable for human consumption destroyed in Polonnaruwa. And in your lead story this afternoon, now the opening ceremony of the Tirasara Lanka Jatika Mangalya exhibition is currently underway at the BMICH in Colombo under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena. The aim of this program is to encourage healthy eating and the drinking of clean water, as well as protecting the environment and empowering the future generations of the country. A number of stalls representing the public and private sector will be on display at the Tirasara Lanka Jatika Mangalya exhibition. Visitors at the exhibition will be able to witness a number of exhibits with regard to healthy eating, green energy, good health and nutrition, as well as the cinema and the arts. Now, the exhibition, which commenced today, will continue until the 4th of April. Sri Lankan Airlines is believed to have incurred a loss of $40 million during the period in which the runway at the Bandaranaike International Airport was being renovated. With the new runway set to be opened on the 7th of April, Newsfirst contacted the Executive Director of the Airport Aviation Services Limited, Johan Jayaratne, to inquire about the possible losses to the national carrier.
What would you like to say about the amount of losses made by Sri Lankan Airlines, allegedly $40 million during the period of the renovation?
Well, actually, runways make airports efficient. It's up to the airline to make itself efficient, and I will just leave it at that. Essentially, what we have is the claim that they have cancelled 600-odd flights, which I believe to be a fact. Having said that, Sri Lankan has 35 destinations that they fly to directly, and of which only 6 have been affected. And of the affected flights, they have carried a load of 90%. So I'm not quite sure how they came up with a $40 million loss factor. I can't really comment on that.
If parallels are being drawn between the losses made by the national carrier and the renovation of the runway, do you think that the renovation of the runway would make the carrier more efficient? Given the fact that the government of Sri Lanka is attempting to make Sri Lanka the aviation hub in the region, why aren't steps being taken to build a second runway at the BIA, similar to many other major airports in the world?
We are actually in the process of discussing a second runway, and talks are underway right now. Having said that, I would like to also mention that a third terminal would be more prudent right at this time, and we are in the planning, just starting the planning process for the third terminal. And also, I would like to add that airspace redesign that we're going through right now with technology and procedures to enhance capacity would increase the number of flights that will be coming into BIA using the single runway. Also, we have made arrangements for rapid exit taxiways as an option to be built in the near future. And thirdly, we have widened the current runway, so we will be seeing Airbus 380s landing here very soon.
Meanwhile, in news from the courts, the Colombo Magistrates Court granted permission for MP Mahindananda Alutgamage to travel overseas until the 30th of June. The order was issued by Colombo Chief Magistrate Lal Ranasinghe Bandara following a request made by the MP. The passport of parliamentarian Mahindananda Alutgamage was temporarily held following the case filed by the Bribery Commission with regard to the misuse of 3.6 million rupees to purchase sports items. Meanwhile, the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court also granted permission for former MP Sajjan Divas Gunawardena to travel overseas until the 8th of August. A case was filed against the former MP by the Bribery Commission with regard to obtaining 6 million rupees after threatening a group of people. Meanwhile, parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa has arrived at the Special Presidential Commission to investigate large-scale corruption. Namal Rajapaksa arrived at the commission to provide information with regard to alleged corruption that took place at the National Youth Services Council. The Sri Lanka Customs has granted permission for the aircraft on which a stock of heroin worth over 14 million rupees was found on board to depart the island. Customs media spokesperson Dharmasena Kahandava said that the stock of heroin was discovered in the restroom of the aircraft, adding that a Pakistani national is suspected to have attempted to smuggle the heroin into the island.
Sri Lanka Reguwa ada udesana 1:02ට පමණ
The Sri Lanka Customs carried out a special raid at around 1 a.m. today. The raid was carried out aboard the aircraft bearing flight number FZ555, which was flying from Malé to Dubai via Sri Lanka. Upon searching the aircraft, a stock of heroin weighing 1.4 kilograms and worth 14 million rupees was found on board. No suspect has been arrested as yet, but investigations are being carried out.
දැන් මේ සැකකටු පුද්ගලෙක් මේ දක්වා අත්අඩංගුවට ගෙන නැහැ. නමුත් පරීක්ෂණ කටයුතු සිදු කරගෙන යනවා.
Two more individuals suspected of being involved in the shooting carried out on the Kaluthar prison bus transport have been arrested in Moratua and Bandaragama. Attack from Sidua, fixing false number plates and concealing the vehicle that was to be used in the crime. Police said that the perpetrators had then fixed the original number plates back on the van before abandoning it at the Murugahagahena area, adding that steps had been taken to conceal all possible traces of the crime. The suspects are to be produced before the Negombo Magistrates Court today. Now, 12 persons in the Central Province have died in the first 3 months of this year after contracting the influenza AH1N1 virus. Director of Health Services for the Central Province, Dr. Shanti Samarasinghe, has said that 5 persons have lost their lives in the Marthale district. The total number of persons diagnosed with the influenza AH1N1 virus over the course of this year stands at 115. Now, 40 of the 115 diagnosed patients are residents of the district of Kandy, while 23 of them are from the Marthale district. Meanwhile, in more health-related news, the Sri Lanka Civil Security Force is conducting an island-wide dengue eradication program. The campaign started in the Kandy district yesterday. Public awareness campaigns as well as Shramadana campaigns were conducted by personnel of the Civil Security Department. The campaign got underway in a number of locations around the city of Kandy. Two students have drowned in Sinimodara seas off Tangol. Police said that 3 students had gone to bathe in the sea while 2 of them had drowned and are currently missing. The 2 missing students are 17-year-old residents of Puakdanda. Police said that search operations are underway with the assistance of the Sri Lanka Navy. Meanwhile, in another headline-making story this afternoon, a stock of rice unsuitable for human consumption was destroyed at the Gallala Waste Collection Centre in Tamankadua, Polonnaruwa. Nearly 4,150 kilograms of rice unsuitable for human consumption was discovered by officials of the Consumer Affairs Authority in 2 warehouses in Polonnaruwa nearly a month ago. The stock of rice was destroyed based on an order issued by the Polonnaruwa Magistrates Court. Meanwhile, the 2 rice traders in whose warehouses the rice was being stored were produced before the Polonnaruwa Magistrates Court yesterday. Court ordered that the 2 traders be fined 1,000 and 3,000 rupees each. And in sports news now, the Sports First Platinum Awards for 2017 will kick off at the Stein Studios Ratmalana this evening. The event will see a wide array of sports personalities being felicitated for their contribution to the sporting arena. We are now joined by Newsfirst's Joel Outskone, who is standing by at the Stein Studios complex in Ratmalana for more details. Joel, what's going on there?
Stand by.
A very good afternoon to all our viewers, and we are coming to you live and direct from the resplendent Stein Studios here in Ratmalana this afternoon. Well, the countdown has begun for the biggest sporting award ceremony here in Sri Lanka. Platinum Awards 2016 together with YFM is to commence today, this evening here in Stein Studios. And as you could see in the back of me, rehearsals are underway, and the entire Stein Studios is going to be filled with sports men and women here in Sri Lanka, together with celebrities and personalities who have brought glory and honor to our country. Well, this is the latest coming from Stein Studios here in Ratmalana, and we will be coming to you live from this very location starting at 6 p.m. So stay tuned for the very latest from Sports First Platinum Awards 2016. I'm Zola Outskun reporting for News First from Ratmalana. Back to the studio. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Joel, and that is indeed an event not to miss, coming live to you from Stein Studios in Ratmalana from 6 p.m.
Sports First Platinum Awards with YFN. Sri Lankaවේ නැවැන්තම ක්‍රීඩා සම්මාන උළෙල සඳහා සියල්ල සූදානම්. ක්‍රීඩා තරු කලාකරුවන් සමගින් අසිරිමත් රාත්‍රියක් මාර්තු 31 වනදා රත්මලාන ස්ටයින් මැදිරියේදී. Platinum Awards main sponsor.
Well, on that note, we wrap up lunchtime news. However, do join us again at 1:55 for more of the very latest.